Hello Internet, this is Z Schrodinger's cat here with another episode of Foolcraft on the Iscal85 Patreon server. Like I mentioned in the last episode, I switched this over to an Ender IO farming station. Nothing particularly worth noting except that the farming station requires a hoe, so I got a Matic from Tinkers, and I'll make that unbreakable at some point. I thought it would gain XP from farming, but I guess not, so I'll have to take it out and chop some wood and get that up so I can have it unbreakable. It is reinforced 3 right now, but I'll do that. So we have this stuff collecting here, and this still leaves much to be desired, this power, but this does actually, fortunately, this Ender IO farming station, without a capacitor in it, it only uses 40 RF per tick. I think the 160 I mentioned in the last episode was if it had a octadic capacitor, which is what I was used to having. But it's just 40 RF per tick, and this produces 50. It's not on right now, there's no fuel, but I have the capacitor here, it's draining 40, that's great, and it's working. And I have this growth crystal here, this speeds up growth. This is only the tier 1 because I haven't collected, I haven't fought enough withers yet, and that's something I can do. I don't know, it's at some point. I'll upgrade at some point. I can just farm wither heads from our spawner, and which we have actually collected a good amount of mob juice in here. Just over time, we have almost a full barrel here and there, and we have some mob drops here, and that's cool. So, I think right now I need to get storage for the stuff, basically. I'm gonna get a storage wall, kind of like the one out there, but I'm just gonna pipe from this chest into a drawer controller and into a wall of drawers. Drawers! Great! We got drawers. We got drawers for the essences, and apparently, they drop seeds? I did not realize that. They don't drop seeds, I guess because I've only played, with Mystical Agriculture which is the name of the mod. Last time I called it Magical Crops. Well, the only time I've ever played with Mystical Agriculture is when there is Agricraft in the pack, and Agricraft seeds don't, drop the actual seed, but I guess they do when you're farmed with, Ender IO farmers, supposed to. They took Agricraft out because it's OP, but we got all this. This isn't all the seeds there is. It's all the crops I have, but it's not all the seeds. There's some backing up in here, but I'll worry about that when this chest backs up, which will probably not be for a while. And so the thing we have to do next is make sure that this has a steady supply of power, because right now it does not. And the way to do what's nice about that is I put seeds here, like regular vanilla seeds, so it'll plant anywhere that a magical crop is not. It will plant wheat, because the magical crops, they don't get ripped up, like they don't have to be replanted because you just right click them. But the wheat, in theory, it should be able to do the same to the wheat, but it doesn't. So I don't know. It'll plant wheat wherever the magical crops are not. And that's convenient because we're using culinary generators, so we have an automatic income of wheat, and we're using toast to run the generators. So I've got an alloy smelter. That's for smelting the, there's 3 steps to making toast. There's the step where you craft it into wheat flour, and then you bake it, and then you craft that again with a bakeware. So I got an alloy smelter for the sake of the smelting part, and somewhere in my inventory we have crafter tier 1. Wow, that was a great sentence. Here from RF tools, and these will automatically craft. I want you to go right side up so you're symmetrical. There you go. So I think you should be able to, let's see. I've never used these before. I could have sworn that Extra Utilities had one that didn't require power, but I guess they took it out. I couldn't find it in JEI. So apply, and that will craft any wheat into flour. Great. And then we can have this we want this on furnace mode, and we want it to pull from this, and it'll smelt, and then we want it to push to the one over here, because we're gonna put this here, and craft it with bread, and so when I put this bread in here, apply, it'll no, that's not what I wanted. Let's see, oh, that is unfortunate. Hold on, how did I do this? Let's see. Let's run another one of these through so that we can see what it does the second time. So that smelts it, and then it puts it out here. Okay, so I guess, is there a way to lock a, remember the current items in the internal buffers? Okay, so this should reserve a spot for this, so then I guess we can just, we can, hold on, I have to make an item filter. Item filter required. We need that bakeware to stay in the thing, because it's required, it's reused after the crafting step. Ooh, rubber band. After the crafting, it's reused up, so it gives it back to you, but we need it back again for the next, whichever we have going on. And so, no, 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 thank you. So, if we take this, right, like that, and we have this be on extract, and we want to add this item filter in here with the bakeware, and we want that to be a whitelist, and then we want this to come back and insert into here. Is there like there's no okay, there's no import extract configuration here, so that should work fine, so that when this comes through like that, if we put another wheat through here, we should, once it shows up here in a sec, oh, right, because I need to put this on always active. So that got pulled up and put back here. So that should continuously produce toast. I think I'm going to make another item filter because I want to pull out toast and I want to put it into the culinary generator, and so that will be completely self-sustaining because this will hopefully, I probably should have checked this, I haven't actually tested the rates, but produce a surplus of wheat. I hope. We'll see. So I got this up all connected. I got this connected from here, so that's pulling down into here, and that's going through to here and over to here, and it seems like I had way more wheat than this. Let's see. Oh, there's a butt ton in there. So yeah, that seems to work out fine, and it does seem like this is using a surplus and more so. So we probably would be able, so I think we're definitely going to have to add another furnace, but because it's now a net negative, so yeah, we're gonna need to add probably a couple more furnaces, but it definitely looks like we are able to do that with our surplus here. Of course, that is I don't know. It's gonna have to be, maybe that's just a backlog now that I think of it, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's probably a surplus. So I wanted to explain how this is going on, because I have this on the same network here, and that is this. I moved the item filter from here where I had it. So basically I'm extracting everything that comes out of this slot, and then I'm inserting bakeware at a higher priority, at priority 1, and then here I have at priority 0 on the same channel inserting with no filter, and what that will do is, because we only have one of these in our system, it will pull this out and put it in there before it ever even thinks of putting it in here. I don't even know if it can go, if pipes can pipe those things in here, because sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. But regardless, this will work no matter. And that means I don't have to have more than one item filter. So I think the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna let this go running, and I think I'm going to work on on designing this ravine a little bit. So I found a cool mountain area. Look, I found this Alps biome, but it's right next to this really pokey mountain biome here with these big triangle pyramids of trees and stuff. And I think it's really cool. I was going to have my cosmetic build be just on top of my regular base, but now I'm kind of reconsidering, and maybe I'll move the other stuff over here. Probably not. And it would be better for me to have my infrastructure in a different place than I had my buildings for lag reasons and stuff. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have like an underground cyberpunk city inside of this mountain here. It's not the biggest mountain, but it doesn't need to be, especially because we're doing a bunch of gonna be doing a bunch of chisel and bit stuff. There's a picture that a good friend of mine showed me that I'm kind of inspired off of, and I'm thinking about that, and I think that would look cool to like hollow this mountain out and have just the top part be supported by like some big dark metallic structure of some sort. I don't know. I'm still envisioning stuff, but I did do a little bit of stuff like I said I would at in the ravine. Haven't made it anything special, but I did work out the walls and stuff like that. So if I can bounce my way through here, well, I didn't really work out the walls. I shaped the walls more like. You'll notice there's less of the dirt and crap in the walls. There's some more shape to it, a more organic shape, less of those hard Minecraft generation lines. That's still looking pretty bad, but you know, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that yet. But yeah, this is what I did, and I don't quite know what my next step is gonna be, so I'm gonna go figure that out and then do that. Alright, so I have made a giant gaping hole. In fact, I think this hole gapes more than any other hole I have ever created for gaping. Look at this. Look at this place. This took forever. It looks terrible, but I am slowly building up the walls and trying to get a more terraformed look from it. This is just vein miner splooge, much like World Edit splooge, except it's even sploogier. So it's taken a while, but I'm kind of building up. The idea here is that I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff poking out of the walls, and like I want to have like a big tower with a bunch of bridges here coming across, and I'm defining some platforms where some buildings will pop out. So it's taking a long time, so I will just continue to work on this. Alright, so I've done a bunch of stuff, more stuff. This is starting to come together and actually look like a nice cave. I've got some pathways defined here, and so I'm actually out of time, so I'm gonna leave it here. I'll probably do more of this work between episodes. Sorry for the short episode time, but there's not much great footage to be gotten from stuff like this. So I'm going to say good day to you, Internet, and thank you for watching.